Houston, welcome to a new episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. I am Rudy Segura, and alongside Dustyn Richardson, we have a special segment for you today as we are joined by Houston Dynamo defender Erik Sviatchenko. Erik, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Let's jump right into it and talk about the match against Austin FC. How important was it for the club to get all 3 points and finally end that winless streak at Q2 Stadium, Erik?
Yeah, it was a very, very important win, especially coming off the Vancouver game where we had that feeling of losing points. And then knowing with the fact that we hadn't won against Austin at that stadium also fired it up a little bit more. I think we raised our level to that occasion. I know that the game itself maybe wasn't at that kind of our highest level in terms of with the ball, but I just thought we acknowledged the fact that this was a game that had to be a bit more gritty and fight it all the way, and especially some of the saves we did showed that we were locked in on what kind of game. And some of the previous games we have been like it's been difficult transitioning into the phase of what kind of game is it, and this game was a 1-0 game where we needed to kind of fight for that point, the 3 points. And in the end, yeah, it was a happy moment for us all, especially knowing that winning them against Austin, but also having that little record with most away wins.
Yeah, you mentioned it a little bit, but some close calls for Austin in that game. You guys made some defensive plays, and then Coco's great goal. What was the feeling like for you guys? As you finally broke through late in that game, such a tense kind of rivalry match like that.
No, the feeling was that it was nervy. It was on the edge. It could have gone both ways. And some games we have played, especially at home, where we felt like it was tipping our way, and suddenly the opponent scores either the winning goal or the equalizer. And here it was in our kind of favorite scoring that winner, and on a set piece, which always makes us happy, especially me. And then with Coco's bit of magic, then it becomes 3 points.
Speaking of the Cocos goals, it may not have been the cleanest bicycle kick, but how often do you see him pull something like that in training, and or was it more you think a quick reaction in the movement?
No, we trained that specific unclean bicycle kick, so we knew that. No, I'm just kidding. It was Coco has some really really high level skills in him, and he can determine quickly within a split second what to do. And I think it was just his instinct that brought that kind of bicycle kick into it, and it was the right call. And then it was deflected, but who cares? It was a lovely goal and very very important.
Another clean sheet for you guys. 8 this season. I know we've talked to you in the past about how important that is, but how big is that for you guys, just personally for you as a defender and for the team defensively to get a clean sheet like that, especially on the road?
Another big thing for us. I think clean sheet mentality is something that we talk about in our team, and I think it shines through, especially in a game against Austin, that we really wanted that clean sheet. And it has to be not only like the four defenders, it has to be the entire team that has that feeling of, okay, this is a game that requires clean sheet mentality. And I think we brought that into the game, and having eight clean sheet now is good, and we want to go and get even more. We want to be, if we're, I think we're the best in the West defensively, but it would be great also to compete for that kind of little trophy overall when the season ends across the whole MLS. And that's something that, yeah, we want to go for too.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and then obviously Ben Olsen seems to have solidified his best 11 with you and Mikael, forming the backbone and defense. You've spoken highly of Mikael in the past. But how has the defensive unit as a whole progressed during your second season with the club, Erik?
I think these partnerships evolve sometimes rapidly, and sometimes they take years in order to see like the full potential. But I think especially with Mikael and myself, it's been almost from day one, which is always very very important for a team. Then we have had, I think I just saw some statistics about how many games I played with Mikael, and it's it's closing in on 60 games within not even 2 years, which is a huge amount of games that you get to know each other. The same with Steve. We've played so many games together, Griff, Franco. So talking about a defensive partnership, it's very important to have that triangle with the keeper and the two center backs. But the consistency you mentioned, like the starting 11, I think the places that I've played, the thing that we have won most on is keeping a starting 11, and they are so much in tune. And I think we've seen that develop throughout the last kind of couple of months. And the great part is that we are even done yet. We still kind of have small tweaks to the game where we need to be better at. But overall, when you look at our defensive partnership, I rate it one of the best in the league, and I still say that we're not getting the praise that we deserve. But if we can get that in the end of the season and lift a trophy, I'll take that.
Most road wins for a Dynamo team, you mentioned it, in a season. Now you guys get another chance to go to a place that the Dynamo haven't won, Seattle, another very tough place to play. But what's been the approach for you guys on the road this season that's led to the success, and how do you think that will help you guys in Seattle?
Yeah, it's going to be another tough game, and all these games right now coming with the opponent that are right around us in the league table. I think it's great. I think you take the confidence from the Austin game and you build that into the next game, especially because it goes kind of 2 games away, and with our form away, it's kind of the little bit different scenario than at home. And in the end, it's kind of the confidence that is building when we go away, that we know that we can beat every team. The same happens at home. It just hasn't been the result that we have hoped for, but especially away, as we're talking about, it's our momentum. It's our kind of expectation to win game. We're not satisfied by going away and just drawing. We want to win those games. And this season, it has been at a high level.
Eric, Hector Herrera has been out the last couple of games with an injury. We all know how important he is to the team, but how encouraging has it been to see, the positive response from the squad when key players go down, especially during this critical part of the season?
No, it's been very key. I think we have players that are hungry to step in when the chance is there. We talked about that starting 11 that are very, very in form and in June, but that doesn't mean that, let's say that one go down, we need number 12 and 13, and they have been ready. So far it's been good, and people are helping out. Of course, we don't want to lose our most valuable players, but it happens. It's a long season. Ponce went out with an injury. Hopefully he's going to be back soon again. But overall, I think we've dealt pretty decent with those minor knocks. There haven't been too many of them, but if we can keep it to this minimum right now, I think we should be fine for the last one.
You mentioned coming down the stretch here, 4 games left for you guys. You guys aren't in the playoffs officially yet, getting close, but what's the mindset in the locker room for you guys as you come down this final stretch of games?
I think it's evident for us that we look into the final 4 games thinking that we want a full house. I think there's a potential of going there. It will require incredibly performances. It will require physically our best performances and technically, of course, but just knowing that wins would set us up for those kind of home field advantage makes it even more interesting to go into these games. So our aim is set for the highest position we can get to, and if that's 2, if that's 3, that's 4, that will show in the end. But the mindset is we're hungry. We're gonna fight, and we're gonna hunt.
Yeah, and we've noticed how dedicated you are to the recovery process, especially after the demanding schedule of playing what seems like every other day for you guys. Is that something you focus throughout your entire career? Is that something you've adapted over time?
No, it's been something that has been with me for many years. The last 7 years, I would say, I've been really, really conscious about the recovery. I know that recovery is individual, but especially for me, I think it's a key component been able to play as many games as I have been playing the last 7 years. It's been kind of averaging over 40 games a season, and last season was a long stretch with over 50 games. This season is going to be close to 45, hopefully 50 games with us going all the way. So yeah, it requires a strict regime, and when I'm leaving you guys, I'm going for a recovery as well at a place that I always go to. So it's a 24/7 kind of job.
Yeah, Erik. So the year is coming to an end. I know you guys still have a lot to go to, but a lot of option years for some of you guys in your contracts, like yours. What does the future kind of hold for Erik Sviatchenko? I know you have very much been a big fan of Houston. Your family's been here and stuff, but have you started thinking about the future? Have you had those talks yet?
Yeah, I have. It's a bit different over here in the MLS, how they do it in the sense of option year and when they expire and when you're able to talk with the club and clubs in general. So in that aspect, it's new in kind of in Europe. You would have 6 months before you would be able to do whatever you want. In that sense, if you're not having any kind of response from the club, but we have a really really good relationship, Dynamo and me, and what we have achieved so far with the team and with me in the team, it's been amazing. So my only side is kind of to do my best, and I know that that's good enough, and I'm ready to stay here another year. It looks really really promising, I can say that.
Well, Erik, thank you so much for joining us today. But just any final words you have for Houston Dynamo fans as we approach the end of the regular season?
I have the same every time I have the possibility to speak to the fans, that it's not tomorrow, it's right now. If we want to be a team that is very kind of valuable in this city, and that soccer grows, we need to see as many people as possible on the stands. And no matter if it's a Wednesday evening or a Saturday evening, we need a crowd that can lift us. And the playoffs are soon to begin. We want to be in it, but let's say that the momentum is getting built before the playoffs. That's the key of going into a kind of a playoff with momentum. So the momentum is what we built with the fans, and that can be done already in the next home game and the next home again. And Galaxy at home would hopefully could get close to that kind of 20,000 marks. That would be my dream.
Thanks again for your time, Erik. Best of luck against Seattle on Saturday, and we wish you and the team all the best the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.